I invoke the Almighty to bless this gathering because of who this world is evolving, moving, and without His will, we don't succeed or do anything. So I seek the blessings of Sri Satya Sai Baba. My father was also here a few minutes ago. However, he's not keeping too well, so he had to leave, but his wishes are with us. Because of him, I stand here. Because of him, this university stands here. Because of him, lakhs of engineers graduate. Because of him, lakhs of doctors graduate. Because of him, so many people have got employment. Because of him, we know what education is. So I salute and bow to him in reverence, and we miss him at this convocation, but his blessings remain with you. I would like to welcome the Honorable Minister, Dr. Ranjit Patil. I'm very grateful that in spite of his busy schedule, he took out time to come to be present as this convocation ceremony. And being a doctor himself, he knows the subject well. He's quite a gentleman. I have interacted with him on several occasions. And he's just not a politician, but an excellent human being as well. So I thank Dr. Ranjit Patil for coming here for this convocation. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I would also like to thank Sri Rajesh Topeji for coming here. Sri David Pollard, the Ambassador of Guyana in India. Dr. Abdullah Al-Shaibani, who is visiting us from the UAE. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah, for coming all the way from Dubai to come for this gathering. I would also like to welcome Dr. Nandita Palshetkar, who sits on our board but is also the Foxy chairman. So I invite her in that capacity, because not only is she my sister, but she's also an outstanding doctor and has achieved merit in her own field and is almost gaining provenance to an extent where she'll match up with my father very soon. So Dr. Nandita, well done. I would like to welcome Dr. Makran Zavdekar, because of who we have a lot of association overseas. He's known my father for many, many years. I would like to very warmly welcome him. I would like to welcome Sri Dilip Chhabria ji, Sri Nihal Garware ji, and Sri Sudhir Mehta ji. I think today is a very important occasion for all you students, because this is one occasion where the students really look forward to. It's the graduation day that they're all excited about, wearing these gowns, getting over with these boring speeches, and then finally throwing your hats in the air. So I won't bore you for too long. We promise to keep it short and sweet, because we are an innovation university. We like to innovate things, but we can't do away with the gown. The gown stays. So I think you can't come in t-shirts and jeans yet. I think the gown gives a certain elegance to this whole ceremony. And I quite like this occasion because it's a way to celebrate our success, a way to get together, and a way to understand each other. So I was just having a conversation with Minister Patil, and he mentioned about time. And I told him, in spite of your busy schedule, you happened to come here. And he said, no busy man is ever busy for anyone. And I quite like that statement, because I think the essence of time is very important, because when you go out into the real world, I think you must have the value for time. I learned about time management many, many years ago. There was a British gentleman who taught me about time management. Because sometimes, as Indians, we don't give relevance to time. Sometimes we are okay if we are 5 minutes late, we are 10 minutes late. But I think we need to value time a lot. I look at the time very differently. People often say, I'm busy, I don't have the time. We today employ more than 10,000 people within our educational system. And I would say that 10,000 divided by 12 hours is 120,000 hours. And that's the time I have at my disposal. So I think if someone says that you don't have time, I think it's irrelevant. You have to make time, you have to combine your time and use it for productivity to bring about the results. So value time wherever you go. It's a very important emotion that you'll carry. Perhaps you may not understand the gravity of what I'm saying today, but time doesn't wait for everyone. You have to utilize every single minute that you've got. You are in your youth, soon you will grow. And I think you have to make the most of what you have, the young energy that you need to channelize. Today, the world is changing very rapidly. I think we see a sort of enhancement of technology going around our world. We see the world evolving rapidly. Systems are changing, processes are changing, people's thoughts are changing. And I think the youth is changing as well. But I think don't get carried away with what the world tells you to do. Don't get carried away with what somebody will advise you. Do take advice. But end of the day, I think you have to desire what you want to do from within your heart, because I think it's very important for you to do what you really like, not what the world throws at you. Create your own world, create your own imagination, create your own institutions, because end of the day, you have to do what really pleases you. And I think at our university, we try to mold our children in that way. We try to teach our children that you don't have to be just some student passing out of this organization. You have to be that different individual who brings about valuable change to society. We are a very new university. We are a very young university. And I think we are evolving over time. We take a lot of active feedback from a lot of stakeholders, including students, staff, the public in general. We have a lot of academic advisors from different parts of the world. Our syllabuses are based from around the world, from different academic intellectuals. And I think we are evolving all the time, because if we don't evolve, we'll get lost. The world is changing very rapidly, and I think we need to change rapidly as well. And hence we call ourselves the Innovation University. Now you would say, why we call ourselves the Innovation University? Because there are hundreds of universities. Now how do we do things differently? We don't believe in the conventional way of teaching. We don't believe in the conventional way of education, because I think education itself is changing. Sometimes I just feel that a teacher comes into a classroom and he teaches the children, and the children are registering what he's saying. So the process of transferring the teacher's notebook into the pens and books of the children is what traditionally education is all about. And nothing goes into the mind. And I think teaching should all be about something going into the mind, the knowledge encompassing you, the knowledge capturing you. And I think that's how teaching should evolve. But of late, we see that many processes that we've evolved over, traditional educational systems that we based with, are just churning out engineers, just churning out doctors, without any understanding of what the future holds for these children. Ideally, a child should come into an organization or an institution, I call a university, and should feel that this is what I wish to do, this is what I want to become, this is the dream that I have, and this is what I will create, this is what I will achieve. And that's what a real university is. It's very difficult, it's a challenge. But I guess as an innovation university, we are trying to do our best. Many of you may find our unconventional way of teaching a bit controversial. Many of you will appreciate our unconventional way of teaching. But I think it's a mix of all the systems that really evolves and creates a beautiful student that goes out into the real world and becomes a success to talk about, to speak about, and to emulate about. So we will strive to be different, we will do things differently, and we'll keep on focusing on how our children can go out and change the world. I often keep talking about technology. Technology is sort of decentralizing everything. I think in the last 20 years, the way technology has touched our lives in a way that it's not been touched for hundreds of years. We've not seen this kind of technological evolution in our lifetimes. I grew up in the analog world as well as the digital world. I'm seeing a best of both, but many of you will not know what the analog world was. But I think what technology is also doing is democratizing knowledge. It's decentralizing power. And I think knowledge should not be anybody particular's monopoly. Knowledge should be everyone's monopoly. Knowledge should be available plentifully, freely, and at a very low cost. And I think technology is evolving. Technology is allowing that. Again, I would make a very awkward statement. Perhaps it's a dichotomy for me to say that technology is giving education in a meaningful way at a very affordable cost, because universities such as ours would face a challenge in the future if technology allowed the teaching to happen out of the class, out of these classrooms. And it will happen, because the new generation that you see will be learning on virtual teachers, virtual holograms, and new technologies that are evolving. And I think it's the move in the right direction, because knowledge should not be deprived. I think even in the Vedas, if we look at our ancient scriptures, the word shikshan, when it's mentioned, the literal translation of shikshan is learning at every moment. And that doesn't happen in our universities. That doesn't happen in our schools. In our schools, in our universities, it's a pursuit of gaining a degree. It's a pursuit of gaining a diploma. And I think that's what the benchmark is, that yes, parents think that I will put my child into a particular university and he will graduate and he will make a life for himself. which is fine, but it is almost like an insurance policy which is getting more and more expensive because education is getting expensive. To get good resources, to get good teachers, to set up good facilities, money is required, and money can't be supplemented by anything else except money. But I feel that when you put your child in an educational institute, it should not be just for the purpose of the degree that he achieves. I think you should sit down with your child, understand what he or she really wants to do. Because it's not the degree that makes you, it's really what you do in life that makes you. Many of the top people who have succeeded in the world really don't have degrees. They might not have degrees from Stanford, they might not have degrees from Harvard, but they employ people from Stanford, they employ people from D.Y. Patil. For example, I'll take the example of our former Chief Minister, Sri Vasantdada Patil, who was only past grade 4. He just graduated till the grade 4th. But I would like to tell you, because many of you young people wouldn't know the history of these politicians, in 1983, he took a decision that we must privatize education. And people are wondering that there is this man who has not graduated in the 4th standard and is talking about education. I'm also talking about my father, because he came from a village in Kolhapur, he came from Ambap. And when he used to talk about private education, people used to look at him and laugh at him. They used to say that, who is this villager? Who is this farmer? This Maharashtrian man, what does he know about education? The IITs know about education, the VJTIs know about education, the academics know about education, and the intellectuals know about education. Education is a state subject. Education is a country subject. It is by policy planners and thinkers. But believe it or no, because of Sri Vasantdada Patil, education was privatized, and because of him, lakhs and lakhs of engineers have come out of the system of Maharashtra. So I think you need to understand really that there needs to be a will, there needs to be a real passion, there has to be a burning desire within you to change the system, to create a system that you will create. You imagine it, anything is possible. So I would like to talk about certain things. I spoke about the university a little bit, and we have a vice chancellor who's heading this university. Under his leadership, the university flourishes. We have a lot of outstanding academics in our university. Hridesh Deshpande works very closely with me, and he's an intellectual of immense capacity, because sometimes when we brainstorm and talk about the ideas, the ideation that comes out of these individuals is something beyond my imagination, because what I feel sometimes is science fiction becomes science fact at our university. And believe me, a day will come where each and every student from this university will feel, yes, that I graduated from a university which is truly an innovative university. Innovation will continue to happen in this university. Many cutting-edge things we've offered in our university. For example, now we've tied up with partner institutes all over the world. We have strategic alliances with universities in different parts of the world, which include the United States, Japan, Israel, South Korea, even Thailand. So there's not any part in the world which we've left where our teams are not reaching out, because we want to get the best of everything that's available in the world and bring it to this university. Talent exists everywhere. Talent is not black, talent is not white. Talent is talent, and I think it needs to be tapped. And when talent comes together, works for the greater good, then we can create wonderful, wonderful things. I'm happy to say that the generation that I call you, the Z generation, that's how we name you, that's how the university markets you, the Z generation. We have over 13 nationalities in our university, and our nationalities are growing, so I welcome all the foreign students as well to the university, because they bring in a lot of diversity to the campus, they bring a lot of enthusiasm to the campus, because it allows us to learn from each other's cultures. It allows us to interact with different cultures, which we would not be aware of. We also introduce many innovative things, such as most of the universities would have competency-based transcripts. But what we've done is we've done with an electronic portfolio, which is again something we are trying to patent, because this would probably be the only university which is doing this. From year one itself, the student will be given a portfolio which is digital, which is electronic. And what this does is allow us to track in a meaningful way what the child is doing throughout his career. It allows us that whether the course he's taking is really tuned to the course that he desires or is doing well in. It also allows the student to understand whether he's excelling in that particular field. Because what happens, many of the engineers who graduate out of our institutes sometimes are not employable. And there's no point when these engineers can't be employed, because you have most of these big companies like the Tatas, the Microsoft, who come to us, then they give us a 6-month training program, and then they become employable engineers. And it's a shame that these colleges produce these kind of engineers, because a university's moral obligation is to create a student that goes out into the industry and can start working in that industry that very day, or he brings value to that organization. And I think as a university, we'll work on this, focus on this, that not only are you employable the day you go, but even before you graduate, you start working with the industry. Because we just don't want you to work in the industry. We want you to create your industry. We want you to create centers of excellence, because not everyone is up for employment. Someone wants to be a Bill Gates, someone wants to be a Tesla, and there are so many inspiring figures that you want to become, and you should. Just 10 minutes ago, some of the children came to me and they said that we want to take a selfie with the president. And I was very happy, because you always feel nice if someone's taking a selfie with you. You feel wanted and loved. But what I would want you to say is that you become so big, you become so great, that you come back to this university and I would request you for a selfie. That's the dream I want to see. I would want a selfie with you one day. That's the student I want out of this organization. I want to thank everyone at the university, because humility is something which is in our DNA. Humility is something that my father is taught. Humility is something that my grandfather imbibed in my father. And I think we all grow because of the blessings of the people, because of the blessings of the Almighty. And I think without the blessings and the goodwill and the support of people, you cannot never grow. So first of all, I would like to thank you all lovely students, because without the students, this university wouldn't exist. So thank you very much, dear students. I would like to thank all my dear team members. That includes the excellent staff that we have, both national as well as international. I would like to thank all the people who are associated with this university, because when a university operates, there is a lot of work going on in the background. There are many unsung heroes which we don't hear of. I am the face of the university. The Vice Chancellor is the face of the university. Ridesh comes and talks to you. But there are many unsung heroes who work in the background, and I would like to salute them and bow in reverence. Many such people I would like to name. Ramesh Patil is one of them. Taruna Maheshwari is one of them. Dr. Khedkar is amongst us. Dr. Sangram, Sushant Patil. And I would like to thank right from the sweeper to the cleaner, म्हणजे माझे जे शिपाई आहेत, जे कर्मचारी आहेत, त्यांच्यावर माझं अत्यंत प्रेम आहे. कारण ही संस्था तुमची आहे, आपली आहे, आपण सगळ्यांनी घडवली, आणि तुमचा ह्याच्यावर तेवढाच अधिकार आहे जेवढा माझा आहे. I would like to thank right from the peon to the Vice Chancellor for making this organization what it is. We are one D.Y. Patil family. We will continue to build this D.Y. Patil family. And we will build it for the better of humanity. We will not work only for self-pride and for self-respect and for selfish motives. We have to work for a greater good, because the world needs a greater good. I think if we only thought about ourselves, then the world will not be such a beautiful place. Two particular individuals I would like to talk about. I have the former minister here, Sri Rajesh Topeji, and I thank him for coming here, because Topeji was instrumental in the legislation for the Private Universities Act. And private university owners, stakeholders worked very closely with him when these statutes were being made. And it was a tough time, because there was a lot of political opposition. There was a lot of opposition from many parts, not only political opposition, but just generally opposition to a good idea. And I think it was his leadership that really took this act into light. And I thank him, because the decision you took today has flourished into universities all across Maharashtra. And there are these students studying in these universities. So meaningfully educated child is a resource not only to India, not only to Maharashtra, but to the world. So thank you, Sri Rajesh Topeji. And I'm particularly grateful to you for the support that you offered me personally. We also have Sri Ranjit Patilji. Again, I have Dr. Ranjit Patilji. I've interacted closely with him. And perhaps it's my good fortune that I come across politicians who are really not like politicians. I mean, they are very astute politicians, but I think the goodness that exists in some of these individuals is by far completely unique to what the public perception about politicians is. Because when it comes to help, Dr. Ranjit Patil will pick up the phone in 1 minute and come to our rescue whenever it's needed. I'm extremely grateful to Dr. Ranjit Patil because he has helped me in my really testing times, in times where I've been in trouble, and at times I'm not able to express. There are emotions that I have for Dr. Ranjit Patil which cannot be expressed at this forum. But there are two pillars amongst us today here because of this two pillars this university has stood. And on this pillar rests the house. And the house I would like to mention is no other than the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sri Devendra Fadnavis ji. Now you will say that I'm talking about politicians, I'm talking about chief ministers, I'm talking about politicians. But I need to, because I think people need to know that a lot of people work in the background without any expectations. They just work in the background to help people like me. And I'm grateful to the current Chief Minister who did not hesitate to get this University Act into consultation, because when I went to him, I was trying to plead my case that Honorable Chief Minister, here is a university that I'm trying to set up, etc., etc. And I was trying to plead my case. He just stopped me and he said, I've already studied your case. You put in a lot of work and your work will be done on merit. So why have you come to the Chief Minister to get the job done? Your work will be done. So this is the greatness of this man. This is the Chief Minister that we have. I've seen many Chief Ministers. I've talked with several Chief Ministers. But I'm particularly grateful to this Chief Minister because my father mentions about many people who have helped him in his lifetime. I would like to continue to talk about these individuals who have helped me in my lifetime because every individual has a pillar behind him and these are my pillars. And today I offer my gratitude to these individuals. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sure you will hear about the doctorates here because we have a very distinguished line of doctorates here. We have amongst us Neeraj Shah, we have Srimati Anita Garware, we have the Right Honorable Congressman Todd Rokita, we have Yuli Tamir, we have Kazuo Tanaka, and the university is truly honored with your presence. The university is in gratitude for you accepting this award, as much as I'm sure you are happy of receiving this award, but we feel greatly honored that you are receiving this doctorate because not only will this encourage the university, it will also inspire all this young talent that is going out into the real world because you have achieved outstanding success in your own individual fields. Each one, you have many stories to tell. Each individual will have many examples of how life can be meaningful. Each one of you can be an inspiration for all the students who graduate. So thank you very much, honorable members, for accepting the doctorate from this university because it gives us value, it gives us a sense of satisfaction that you are at this university. And again, I tell you that education is just not a degree. Even without a degree, you can become an outstanding individual. You can become a great human being. So you have to really strive to work for the betterment of the world, to develop things that you really want to do. I speak a little bit about the environment as well, because what I feel is scientifically we know that the planet has been in existence for about 4 billion years, perhaps even more, but that's scientifically proved unless somebody else proves that we are older. At least that's when mankind appeared on Earth. And I think the planet pretty much remained untouched, it remained fertile, it remained green, its whole ecosystem was working in harmony with each other, animals living amongst each other, and the habitat was maintained in a very natural way. And then come the humans who are sophisticated, who are intelligent, who are educated, and who are the superior species. And what have we done? We have really destroyed the world. We've caused pollution, we've caused environmental damage, we've caused wars, we've caused famines, we've changed the climate. And I think it marvels me, or rather it startles me, that we use our intelligence to really pilfer the planet. So how are we really an intelligent species? Were the species before us more intelligent, or are we the intelligent one? So I think we need to look back and think as to how we can evolve, how we can become a better human to change the planet, and to make this planet a more humane planet where people think about love for each other, affection for each other. There is so much poverty around the world. You see many countries can't feed their population. Some countries throw away their food. And I think this disparity exists because of the greed of the humankind. And I think we all need to think, because you particularly are the future of the world, not only of India. You are the future of the planet. And you must challenge convention. You must challenge and question what is wrong. What may be right may be wrong, because you have to challenge that idea. And you have to think in a different direction. So I urge you all that create your own empire, create your own world. But at the end of the day, make it more meaningful for other people, make it more meaningful for the planet to survive. We say the planet is being devastated. I wouldn't say the planet is being devastated. The planet will remain where it is. It will keep spinning. It's the humans that are being devastated. We are the only ones hurting ourselves. Is this a planet that you want to leave for your future generation? Is this what you want to do for the children who are going to come, for the grandchildren who are going to come? We've reached space. We are conquering the moon. Perhaps maybe an alien invasion from some other galaxy would unite this planet. I think that's the only solace we can get. So we have to stop fighting amongst ourselves. For example, when I talk of my own country, India, and I think we have many politicians or many people in the authority who really try to do change, who try to do good things, but they're always criticized for what they don't do. But what about us as citizens? What about us as civilians? A rule and example was set to wear helmets in Pune city. And I'm flabbergasted that there are organizations opposing this rule for not using helmets. So why would you want to oppose something which saves your lives, which is really caring for you? If the law is in respect for your life, then I think we should respect it. And it's just not about helmets. Helmets is an example I'm giving you. Basic traffic discipline, care for others, cleanliness in your country, care for the elders. These are little values that are taught to us in school. There used to be a class in school called the civics class, where they used to say, look left, look right, then cross the road. Keep your house clean, keep your country clean. And I think those were all lost when we grew up. But I think these are very important things, if little things, that make you a better person, that make you a better country. And I think you must focus on that aspect within you as to how I can change the society, how I can make this country, for me, for my people, a better place to live in. I think I've spoken enough, because I can go on and on. I'm very excited because this is our convocation ceremony, and it gives me a great sense of relief that so many students are graduating. Just before I go, I'm going to talk to you about two M's. And the two M's I refer to is, from M comes mother, and from M comes mandir. ये दो बातें हैं, M से माँ आती है और M से मंदिर आता है. मंदिर यानी जो मन से चाहता है वो मंदिर के अंदर जा सकता है. जिसके पास ज्ञान हो, जिसके पास ध्यान हो, वो केवल मंदिर में जा सकता है और वहाँ से स्फूर्ति पा सकता है. इस विश्वविद्यालय को आप एक मंदिर समझिए, यहाँ से ज्ञान ले जाइए, यहाँ पे ध्यान लगाइए और इस जग को बदल दीजिए. मैं दूसरे एम के बारे में कहना चाहता हूँ, विच इज़ द मदर. मदर से आप एम निकाल दो, वो अदर हो जाते. तो माँ का ध्यान रखिए, माँ का ख्याल करिए. ऑलवेज लव एंड रिस्पेक्ट योर मदर. टुडे आई एस्टैब्लिश्ड अ स्टैच्यू ऑफ माई डियर मदर पुष्पलता just in this courtyard. Dr. Shigli was very kind to erect it. My father almost had tears in his eyes. I almost cried when I saw that statue. Respect your mother. She's given you birth. She's the Lakshmi of your house. She's the Saraswati of your house. She will guide you, protect you. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, all the best. Good luck. Go conquer the world.